Okay, so tech is just moving so fast these days, right? And today we're going to really do a deep dive on AI agents.
Yeah, this is really interesting stuff. We're moving beyond, AI that just answers questions. Now, AI agents can take action based on like what you tell it your goals are.
It's true, and this deep dive is going to be based on this YouTube video. It's from Bot Nirvana, and it explains how AI agents, it's like they're the next evolution of these tools, like ChatGPT.
Yeah, and it's not just about being smart anymore. It's about getting things done.
Hmm.
And they use a really clever analogy in this video, planning a trip.
Oh, okay.
You think about all the steps that are involved, like researching destinations, finding the flights, comparing the hotels.
Right.
Now imagine an AI that doesn't just give you like search results. It actually goes and books the flight for you, reserves the hotel room,
Wow.
and can even send you back like a nice itinerary.
So it's like having like a real personal assistant,
Exactly.
who can not only understand, but like take action.
Yeah, and that's actually a really important distinction because this shift that we're seeing, from just using apps to having AI that can actually interact with them on your behalf, this has the potential to like completely revolutionize the entire tech landscape.
Yeah, the video called it from code to conversation, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
So instead of needing to know how to code or program, we'll soon just be able to tell the AI what we want, like almost as if we were talking to a colleague.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you're explaining it to a human.
And it'll figure it out.
And they'll just go and do it.
Yeah.
So like, imagine if you're a small business owner, you could just say to an AI agent, hey, just run my social media marketing this week.
Oh, wow.
Or,
Yeah.
if you're a marketing manager, you can say, generate a report that analyzes our competitors' activity for our next product launch.
Yeah.
These tasks that used to take, hours of human effort can now potentially be automated with just a couple of instructions.
That sounds incredibly empowering. And especially, for people who aren't programmers.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
This technology, it's really exciting because it's got the potential to democratize access to these sophisticated automations.
Yeah.
It makes it so everybody can use these tools,
Yeah.
regardless of their technical skills.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
But it does make me wonder, with all this potential, all these amazing things it can do, are there downsides? The video did touch on a couple of challenges. What are those?
Yeah, well, one of the key challenges is just making sure that these AI agents operate reliably,
Yeah.
and predictably. Because if they're going to be interacting with systems, in the real world on our behalf, like things like, booking flights or even managing finances, you really want to make sure that they're doing that safely,
Right.
effectively.
It's like trusting a new employee with a really important task.
Yeah,
You want to be really sure about their abilities before you just let them have at it.
exactly. And just like with any employee, there's going to be a learning curve.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to develop these really robust testing and monitoring systems to make sure that these AI agents are making good decisions.
Okay, so it's not just about setting them loose and hoping for the best.
No.
We need to give them some guidance, set some parameters, monitor how they're doing.
And be ready to step in if we need to.
And that actually brings up another point, which is, how is this going to impact the job market? If these AI agents can automate all these tasks that service workers are doing right now,
Yeah.
what happens to those jobs?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, right? It's a really critical question because it really makes you think about the future of work.
Yeah.
And it's complex. There's no easy answers. Some experts say that AI, this is just going to create new job categories and opportunities that we can't even imagine yet.
Oh, and interesting.
Others say we need to focus on retraining programs and like social safety nets
Okay.
to help support those workers during this like technological disruption.
Yeah, it's tough because on one hand, it's like, wow, all this potential, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there are people whose jobs might be affected.
Absolutely. And, we've seen this throughout history, like technological advancements, they often lead to new industries and like new job creation eventually.
Okay.
So, a good example is the internet. I mean, the internet disrupted so many traditional jobs,
Yeah,
but then it also created completely new sectors
that's true.
and millions of new jobs that we couldn't have even imagined.
And those jobs probably wouldn't exist now without that initial disruption.
Exactly. And that brings us to another key takeaway from that video, which is the economic impact.
Okay.
They said that AI agents could potentially unlock tens of trillions of dollars in economic opportunity.
Tens of trillions. Okay. How do they quantify something like that?
Well, it really comes down to the sheer scale of potential automation. Just think about, I mean, across every industry, all the different tasks that could either be streamlined or even completely taken care of by an AI agent.
Yeah, like what?
Think about things like scheduling appointments or managing logistics or providing customer support, even some aspects of like financial analysis.
So this isn't just about individual businesses saving a little time or money.
No.
This is like a fundamental shift in how these entire industries operate.
Exactly. Yeah, you've got increased efficiency, reduced overhead. You can operate at a scale that you could never have imagined before. And all these factors, they contribute to that, pretty much unimaginable economic projection.
It's a lot. It's very exciting.
Good.
But I'm curious, how will this actually affect, like, our everyday lives? Like, how will we interact with this?
Well, just imagine a world where you don't have to spend hours every week on these tedious tasks, like, booking travel or managing your calendar or just going through emails.
Oh, stop.
Right. Imagine an AI that could just take care of all of that for you
I would love that.
so that you can free up your time and your mental energy for more important things.
It's like they would be like an extension of us
Yes.
taking care of all the boring stuff so we can focus on the things that really matter.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And they actually used a term in the video I thought was really interesting. They called it cognitive offloading.
Oh, okay.
So you're basically taking these tasks and you're offloading them from your brain onto the AI, which then frees you up to focus on things like creativity, critical thinking, human connection.
Right, because it's not about just like checking out
No.
and letting the machines run everything.
Right.
We still need to be human. We still need to do the things that make us human.
Exactly.
But if we can use these AI tools to help us do that better, that's amazing.
To augment our own capabilities
Yeah.
and achieve more than we ever thought possible.
But
Exactly.
it's not just about, us as individuals.
Mhm.
It's about, what could this do for society as a whole?
Exactly. Think about it. You could leverage AI
Yeah.
to improve healthcare or to address climate change
Mhm.
or to, bridge the education gap.
But I also feel like we have to acknowledge that there are potential risks here.
Of course, yeah.
We can't just focus on the good.
It's not all sunshine and roses.
Well,
right?
exactly. So for you, what are some things we really need to be mindful of as this technology continues to evolve?
Well, I think one of the big ones is, this risk of over-reliance.
Oh, interesting.
What happens if we become too dependent on these AI agents?
Yeah.
What happens if they make mistakes? What if they encounter situations that they don't know how to handle?
Yeah, because they're not perfect.
Right.
They're still learning.
And it's our responsibility to make sure that we're not, putting all our eggs in one basket.
Right. It's like we still need those skills.
Exactly.
We can't just forget about how to think for ourselves.
We can't outsource critical thinking
Exactly.
or problem solving.
So how do we find that balance, between using this amazing technology, but not becoming too reliant on it?
Yeah. And this is where, I think ongoing conversation is going to be so important. As AI agents become more sophisticated, we need to make sure that we're also continuing to learn about them.
So we need to keep having these conversations.
Absolutely.
And really try to understand, what are their limitations?
And what are the ethical considerations?
Right, because it's not just a technology issue.
No.
This is about society.
It's about all of us working together to make sure that this technology is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone.
Yeah, it really feels like we're at this crossroads,
Yeah.
with AI, where there's all this potential, but we have to be careful about how we proceed.
We do. And, that leads us to, I think, the big question. What about the future? And the video, actually, it talks about this. It talks about what happens when we have these, even more powerful AI models.
Yeah.
Like GPT-5.
Okay, so for someone like me who's not an AI expert, what is GPT-5 and what would that even mean for these AI agents?
So GPT-5.
Yeah.
Think of it this way. If GPT-4 was like upgrading from a bicycle to a car, GPT-5 is like strapping on a jetpack.
Okay.
It's going to be exponentially more powerful in terms of its ability to understand information, process information, solve problems, even generate content.
Okay, so that sounds like a pretty massive upgrade.
It's huge.
How would that affect these AI agents, though?
Well-
Would GPT-5 make them obsolete, or would it make them even better?
That is the million-dollar question.
Right.
And, there's some experts who believe that GPT-5 could actually become the AI agent.
Oh, wow.
Imagine just a single AI model
Yeah.
that can understand your intent. It can access information from the real world. It can make decisions. It can learn from its experiences all in one.
So it's not like we would need all these separate AI models for different tasks.
Right. It could just do it all.
GPT-5 would be the one.
But there are others who say that, no, even with GPT-5, you're still going to need these dedicated AI agent frameworks.
Okay.
They're just going to evolve.
So they'll work together.
Right, to leverage the power of these models like GPT-5.
So it's not about one replacing the other.
It's about synergy.
It's about working together
Exactly.
to make something even better.
And that's what I think makes this whole field so exciting.
Yeah.
We're really at the very beginning of something huge.
So as we kind of start to wrap things up here, for our listeners, what are some of the key takeaways? What are the things that you really hope people listening to this will remember?
I think the biggest one is just to remember that, AI agents, they're tools.
Okay.
And just like any tool, they can be used for good or for bad.
It's about how we use them?
Exactly. And it's really up to us as a society to figure out how we're going to guide the development to make sure that they're used responsibly.
So how do we prepare for that? What can people listening to this do to get ready for a future where AI agents are just part of life?
Just stay informed.
Okay.
Pay attention to how this technology is evolving.
Yeah.
Think critically about the implications.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to experiment with different AI tools and figure out how can these things actually help me in my own work.
That's a great point. Yeah.
And never stop learning.
Yeah.
I think that's the key takeaway here is just, keep learning, keep adapting, because this is a field that's changing every single day.
So it's not about going out and becoming an AI expert overnight.
Right.
But just keeping that mindset.
Be curious, ask questions.
I want to learn, I want to adapt and, make this technology work for me.
Exactly, because the future's full of possibilities.
And we get to help create it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if we can approach it, with that open mind, with that, critical thinking, I think we can really harness this power of AI to make a better world.
That's a great note to end on. So for everyone listening, as we wrap up this deep dive into AI agents, remember, the future isn't something that just happens to us.
We make it.
We create it. And with a little bit of knowledge and a lot of, thoughtful engagement, we can shape a future where, AI is a force for good in the world. So thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the future of AI.